Already, many Nigerians, including economists and public affairs analysts, have been trying to pinpoint the specific accomplishments of Mr. President. How have they impacted the standard of living of Nigerians? Achievements that you have listed, how have they impacted the standard of living of Nigerians? Are Nigerians richer? Do they have better jobs? Is the country more secure? How has it impacted the lifestyle of the average Nigerian?
From your perspective, what would be your score of the president's effort so far?
Two years, that will be the midterm of this president. I would say the first year was really very turbulent. The first year was marked by many reforms being introduced simultaneously, and that disrupted a lot of things in the country. But the second year, I think the nation has taken a corner for the better.
I think Nigerians are already seeing an element of progress which they can touch, which they can feel.
The renewed hope agenda is about confronting our reality. What is our reality?
Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ìwé ìṣẹ̀mọ̀ ṣe transport máa ń lo epo mi tẹ̀ wà rẹ́gbẹ̀rẹ̀ pé mo fẹ́ lo epo lójúmọ́ mo lè lo 1,000 bọ́ ní ìsìn báyìí tí máa lọ iṣẹ́ tí máa fi epo 1,000 yẹn ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tí máa ní kí wọ́n ṣe iṣẹ́ yẹn sìn báyìí mo ń lo epo 3+.
That reality is that of underinvestment historically.
Nigerians are no fools. Let's look at where we're coming from. What did he inherit when he got there?
We encountered challenges when we assumed the office in 2023.
Do you think that perhaps you could
Have phased the removal of subsidy on fuel and the harmonization of forex rates? Or do you think that you could have withheld it until there was a contingency plan in place?
What's contingency? Where is it?
We are not as wealthy as we think we are. That's the blunt reality. Somebody needs to say this.
We were spending our future. We are spending our generations' fortune. We were not investing.
He took what I call a very, very risky political decision, but very, very economically wise.
Doing the right thing sometimes is not always popular. And what you want from a leader is clarity in purpose. And I think what we have in Mr. President is that clarity.
Mr. President's view is, how have other countries do it? They put good policies in place. Some of those good policies might be tough initially, but the investors who hold wealth, they will have the confidence to invest because they know that you will generate economic activity and the opportunity to pay them, because investors will look at, can I be repaid?
Nigeria on Wednesday hosted a number of foreign investors talking about reforms and so on and so forth.
From your perspective, you've engaged with investors in the private sector for all through your career. What do you think they want to see and hear from Nigeria?
What has always been a problem is public policy and private sector expectation not aligning So lately, what we're seeing is more of alignment in that space. We want to be able to predict, we want to be able to have confidence in the fact that the policy of government at the point of investment will not change down the line, having committed resources.
Confidence has been restored, hope has been restored in the Nigerian economy, particularly by investors. The external sector, particularly in terms of the foreign exchange rate, it is stable. The foreign exchange reserves, they have grown tremendously.
Today, I am proud to affirm that our economic reforms are working.
The revenue of government has gone up 60% in 2024. That's the federal level. At the state level, the revenues to the states has doubled.
Today is 1.7 trillion. More money going down for development.
Nigeria is making a lot more money that they can use to develop the country. So a lot of things are happening, and we are really quite pleased, that these things are happening, because once you are able to have, those infrastructure, you'll be able to do a lot more. You have good roads. Logistics will be much easier. For example, now if you have to transport goods from Lagos to the north, the cost is very high because we don't have good roads.
The president is very clear that you can't drive the growth you want to see in any society if you have poor foundational infrastructure.
He loves infrastructure because he understands that the basis of, the growth of any nation is based on infrastructure. And he also understands that the road infrastructure is a catalyst to economic growth.
This is a well-endowed country, human and capital resources.
We are moving now from food security to food sovereignty. That is a bold statement. What has happened between June 2023 and May 2025 has been mandate driven for the ministry to achieve food security. I'm happy to say today, prices of foodstuff have considerably come down, even though it is not where Mr. President wants it to be.
I have over 2,000 tractors coming to this country for mechanized farming.
The evidence and the data point to the fact that although much more needs to be done to improve the economy and the lives of Nigerians, a lot has been achieved.
Nigeria is also dealing with a massive mineral rush involving the unregulated extraction of minerals, so-called artisanal mining.
We discovered that over 2 million Nigerians were involved in either artisanal mining or even illegal mining.
The president has always been on our neck to make sure that Nigeria is fully secured.
One thing we came up with is what we call the mine marshals.
The mining marshals, which has become very popular. The mining marshal celebrated 1 year of its establishment a few weeks ago, and I reeled out this very positive and remarkable statistics.
Because we understood that in areas where we have high level of insecurity, a lot of these areas are areas that we have active extractive industry, mining activities. Those areas are areas that are very susceptible to, terrorism and insecurity.
Generally and largely in the country, security situation has improved tremendously.
Now to other matters. Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukoyede, has described internet fraud, popularly called Yahoo, as a national emergency that must not be handled with kids' gloves.
There are so many anti-corruption mechanisms that you can put in place that will help the people not to be corrupt.
The president said, look, I want an EFCC that will use a mandate to help me stimulate the economy. And when you look at it really, the essence of the fight against corruption is to actually bring about stability. in our financial ecosystem and ensure that financial crimes does not thrive in our system.
How fast will you have reconstructed this country? If you allow the arbitrage in the exchange rates to continue, that is the grandmother, father of corruption.
Last year, the EFCC recorded the highest number of convictions, 4,111, and we also, in terms of assets, we did quite over 350 billion naira, cash, and well over $200 million. That's quite huge. It's huge.
You could see EFCC recovering over 750 something houses from one person.
The highest real estate recovered ever in the history of Nigeria, perhaps world record.
One of the major campaign I hear all over to the government when we're coming to power is a student loan. That concept was launched months ago, and the office the administration was set up, and it says it has begun disbursing the funds. Oh, how far?
Everybody knows this president is very biased about human capital development. Mr. President doesn't take this. He doesn't take it with levity. Educating our kids, keeping them healthy, giving them all social protection that they need, it's high priority for the president.
NED fund, the student loan fund, about 50 billion of part of our recovery was approved, was channeled towards that. And that has made so much impact. As I can tell you, as of today, over 260,000 students have benefited from the services of NED fund.
I had to just go check.
Yeah.
When we're talking about NED funds, 513,000 Nigerian youths in tertiary universities or tertiary institutions have successfully applied for the students' loan. About 573,000 have registered. Out of those 573,000, 513,000 plus have applied. And they're getting not just their school fees paid, they're getting both school fees and monthly upkeep.
So how impossible has it become to find a decent place to live in Africa's most populous nation?
The main purpose of launching the Renewed Hope program of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to make home ownership easy and accessible and affordable to all Nigerians. You can access through the mortgage of a single-digit interest rate and over a period of up to 30 years. You can also go through the rent-to-own.
Now that we're a liability company, the partnership will be restructured so that we focus on performance, we focus on contributions that we need to make. We also need to strengthen our own teams as well.
God brought in a critical time for Nigeria where we are economically useless, politically hopeless. And God brought him. And that God gave him wisdom.
Continuous development is the order of the day. Sustainability is now an agenda that every policy of government is speaking to. So invariably, for me, the foundation has been laid and is being worked upon continuously, being re-engineered to ensure that the last man, the last mile can feel the impact and effect of government, and prosperity truly can be truly democratized.
We are just halfway through the journey that began 24 months ago.
Yes, you are on course. You did it in Lagos, you are doing it in Nigeria. The economy has changed, everything has changed. But the reality is that we are not there yet.
Let me first of all thank Nigerians for having confidence in me to be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm very, very proud of that. And I don't want you to think I will take you for granted at any given time. I'm here to serve. It's all about service. And I'll do it with all my heart.